Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we will be discussing how to use component property to design dynamic input fields. And if you don't know what components are reusable elements that you can use across your design. Things like buttons, icons, navigation bars, or anything that you could think of that you'll be using a lot. It's always a good idea to use them as a component. And component properties are just those properties of those components that can be used to make your workflow much more faster. Let's get into it. I'll be designing an input field and I'll start with a placeholder. I'm going to add an auto layout by pressing Shift plus A. Give it a height of 48. Add a stroke. Align it to the left and add 16 pixels pattern. Give it a border radius of 8. Add an icon using the Iconifier plugin. So next is the helper text of the input field. We'll be using two set of icons, one at the left and one at the right. So the next is the input field label. We add an auto layout around everything and give it a space between of 8 pixels. So with this, we already have our input field that we can turn into a component and then add component properties to it. We might also want to have different state of our input field. We could call this a placeholder state, call this an active state, a field state. For an active state, we want a moving cursor style. And it is fields, you could do something like and then increase the font a bit. So what you need is a naming convention that allows you to create different states for these input fields. So the way it works is that you want to name the parent name of the item slash the type of the input field and then slash. I'm sure most of you are familiar with this. So we could call this input field, call it email, and then call it placeholder. I'm gonna copy this and apply it to the next. I'm gonna call this active and then call the next one field. We could now create a component set out of this. You can either click on this, or you do it individually and add as variants. So if you make this component independently, you can combine as a variant, or if you click on the last one here, it's just add everything as a variant for you. So with this, we have a variant set that we could change, which is awesome. But what if we want to do more, right? Let's say we want to change, we want an input field that this icon is not showing, or we want an input field like this label is not showing, or this helper text is not showing. This is where component properties comes in. Name this, maybe like call this like types, and then call this like state. So for starters, you could add this as a component property. Click on the right icon, we'll call it the right icon, set it to true. And you could also click on the helper text. And set everything to true. You could also add a label as a component property. I'll call this label and set it to true as well. So now we have almost 4 to 5 different types of input field. This is the standard, right? And this is like a customized version. So if we want to remove the icon here, we just hide the right icon and it's gonna disappear. Let's say we want to remove the left icon, we could hide the left icon and it's just gonna disappear. Of course, we could change it to like the placeholder state. You also want to remove the helper text, you could just hide it. And if we just want like just a triangle, I want to turn this to like maybe a password input field, right? We could do that as a password, right? And you know the icons here are, it's gonna be different, right? And then click on here is gonna be different. So if we made these icons components, it should be a lot easier to change them, right? But I'm hoping this is gonna be like a very beginner friendly component property that won't be so much complicated. With component properties, you are able to like create different set of components, different set of input fields just from one input field. And if you want, you could also like have like error states as well. And if you apply that to this, you see that you have like an error state as well here. So you could do a lot more. In the previous example that I showed, it was a whole robust component property with different input fields and different states, right? Like there's each of the states have its own destructive field, like the active, the field, and the placeholder and everything. Um so this is all I want to share with you about component properties. I do hope you get one or two things out of this. And if you like this video, kindly subscribe and share with friends. And if you think you have something that you're struggling with and you'd like me to make a next video on, you can drop that down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.